Philly Cam Studios. This is March 4th, 2025, and you know who the president of this country is, right? This episode this is for April, Universal Poet for the month of April. Kevin O'Neill, Universal Poet, phillycam.com, phillycam.org. You will see this is going to be a two episodes split, and it goes back to, this is archival gold. This is a throwback to 1998, July 1998, where Moore College of Art commissioned me to curate a nice stipend, back when you can get stipends for poetry, spoken word, not the academic stuff, argo, and to curate a poetry spoken word event at Moore College of Art. And I think it was a special occasion. I don't quite recall. But we're talking about 1998, July. It was hot in there. So big auditorium, packed house. All the promotional stuff was done. Moore did a lot. I did a lot. So we're talking about this is a seminal event when poets who are now Pew Fellows, recording artists, authors, the subjects of giant mural artworks, right? And the Poets Laureate of Delaware, the twin poets. So I don't want to mention my curatorial vision for the future of poetry, but I'm just going to drop that on you because that's what it was. So I envisioned all this. I'm not ringing my bell, but I saw the talent in these people and promoted them for years, all 9 years at the Painted Bride Arts Center, my pioneering Day of the Poet, monthly spoken word festival at the Painted Bride for 9 seasons. And I promoted the work of these poets. You're going to see all black poets and one Latino from the penitentiary. So I promoted their work constantly. These were the seminal days, right, of organizing spoken word events, and the people whose voices spoke the loudest to the socio-political issues of the time and historically, okay? Diaspora, the African diaspora. So it's a combination of black poets and poets from the penitentiary. Graterford Maximum Security Penitentiary by the Monitor. Right, videotapes that I produced at Graterford during my 3 years there as artist in residence, the prison's first artist in residence. So 3 years, 3 days a week. So you will see inmate poets. So it's going to be split in two. So the first segment is going to be followed. There's 2 files. The first segment will be the second segment, which will be for May, will be a continuation of what we're going to see today. Same poets, the same setup. It just this is an hour program. It turned out to be with editing 2 hours. So you don't want to miss it. Ursula Rucker, twin poets, Rich Medina, Trapeta Mason, and inmate brothers, poets from the penitentiary. And of course, the master bard himself, Kevin O'Neill, keeping it real. You don't want to miss this. 2 segments, April and May. Don't miss it.
We're going to have 2 more poets, the twin poets, come up. We'll have a monitor closeout, and we'll all take a break for some refreshments so graciously provided by Mayor Rendell. No, by the West Philadelphia Cultural Alliance, to whom we are very grateful. So I am very pleased to introduce, all the way from Delaware, the twin poets. A big round of applause for the twin poets. We're going to drop some science.
Hold this shit, right? Man, I need that camera with this shit. Peace, Philly. Indeed. Yes. True. And we want to thank Philly, the Philly poets especially, the way they open arms with the twin poets. And like Rich said earlier, I'm sorry. As far as New York poets, they have nothing compared to Philly. Lyrically, Philly is head over heels, definitely, no doubt.
True. That's just something. First of all, we'd like to give praise to the Creator, to our ancestors, to our elders, and to our age mates, and to our juniors. We're the twin poets. Big little brother Anamdi,
Little big brother Al,
True. First piece is
yes.
America, only in America.
Only in America. You see, I love black people.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? I love black people.
love
and
black people.
I like white people, but I hate niggas.
I hate
and
niggas.
I hate crackers.
I hate everything
I
niggas
hate
do.
niggas.
I hate everything niggas love.
And I hate crackers.
I hate crackers.
You see,
you know
I hate
I hate
niggas
crackers
and
I hate crackers and
crackers hate
crackers
me.
hate me.
I guess
that's the way
just
shit
was
just
meant to be. You see, I hate niggas and
Niggas hate me. I
guess that's just the way shit
just
was meant to be.
I
You see,
ain't
I hate
racist or no
crackers.
shit like that. You know, I'm just speaking my mind. They say confession is good for the soul.
It's good for the soul.
You see, in America, laying up the devil, laying up the beautiful for a slave, there ain't no place more suitable. For in America, freedom is far from hands, freedom is far from minds. In America, only in America will you find chocolate cities and vanilla suburbs, where the M&Ms, the mindless masses melt within the grip of the rich. In America, niggas don't gotta think, cause all decisions are already made. A nigga's natural life cycle is straight from his mother's womb to a fresh made grave. Payday will never come for a slave, so niggas pray for the first. In America, niggas are dying of thirst, so the twin poets are verbally making you a late.
Drink up.
In 1776, revolution gave birth to this nation, but ain't a damn thing changed. Because in 1996, Congress can bring about an end to color-based voting districts. So now there is still taxation without representation. So maybe we should have a tea party.
A tea party?
Like they did in Boston.
Boston?
Then again, that shit will never happen because niggas too busy drinking Snap. In America, niggas lack vision. Niggas lack role models, so niggas find themselves in the bottom of 40 bottles. Niggas sniff coke, niggas smoke blunts, niggas puff L's to escape from themselves. Only in America will a group of niggas get together to have a get high session in an attempt to oppress their own oppression. In America, how to be nigga lessons from 101 through PhD are free on TV. In America, niggas believe revolution is
remote control,
changing the channel. In America, niggas believe that if you laugh so hard at Martin, then soon you will forget all about Emmett Till.
Emmett Smith.
You see, niggas love sitcoms. Niggas love sitcoms.
Huh?
Niggas love sitcoms. Niggas love sitting calmly on their ass as opportunities pass. But in America, there is no vision without the third eye.
Actually.
So niggas are trapped in the ghettos of their minds. In America, niggas make commercials about being dark and lovely. But truthfully, niggas think that shit is ugly. In the heat of the night, niggas pray to be whites. In America, land of the devil, land of the beautiful, for a slave, there ain't no place more suitable. For in America, freedom is far from hand, freedom is far from mind. In America, only in America will you find niggas. Because America is actually a motherfucking nigga factory.
I'm dreaming. Damn, I'm dreaming. I had a dream that I was in the land of the beautiful, the home of the brave. I was actually in the land of the beautiful and the home of the brave. My boss came into my office and said, "Hi, Bob, how's it going? Why don't you take off early and here's that raise?" As I pulled up to my suburban home, I got the mail out the box and saw I was approved for another home equity loan. The Girl Scouts were there ringing the bell with cookies to sell. Of course, I brought a box as Hillary quieted down Marmaduke, who would begin to bark. And later on, me and the wife and the kids, we took a bike ride to the park. When we returned, we had apple pie with ice cream on top. And later on, we buckled up and headed on down to Blockbusters to get some videos to watch. When we returned, the kids put on their PJs and we sat on the couch for some family time watching videos. Then all these strangers turned and said to me, "Nigga, what are you doing here? Don't you know that dreams are illegal in the ghetto?"
Dreams are illegal in the ghetto.
Dreams are illegal in the ghetto.
Blow, blow, blow. Gunshots ring in the heat of the night.
The heat of the night.
Followed by screams, violently disrupting my dreams. You see, in the ghetto, you don't need to read the paper or watch the news to know that somebody died tonight. But once the ambulance leaves and the police sirens stop and the crowd disperses, there's silence. The silence soaks into my soul, sobering my senses in this often over-intoxicating society. And I try to relax. Try to relax, but the devil just won't let go. He keeps pointing to the signs that are posted all around me that read dreams are illegal in the ghetto. You see, my neighborhood is the bottom of the barrel where drugs get mixed. Here, there are no brothers and sisters, just niggas and bitches. You see here, people drown in the backwash of Hillary Clinton's whiteboard.
It takes a village to raise a child?
You see here, in the midst of ghetto chaos, dreams are quickly lost. In the ghetto, the devil's in sweet control as dreams are quickly stole. A high school graduate, barely 17, gives up her college dreams for a pair of tight jeans and a chance to be the next ghetto queen. You see, in the ghetto, checks and basketballs bounce with regularity. Life and death intermixed with no disparity. Ghetto youth live for nothing. Ghetto youth die for nothing. You see, every day, blue skies are gray. The devil has them, all they know is that they want to make dough.
I want to make some dough, I got to get paid.
The devil has them chasing a colorless rainbow. And at the end, there's no pot of gold, just a pot of steam, which he exchanges for their dreams. He begs, borrows, and steals their dreams. See, we got to take down the signs. So that they will never know.
So that they won't know
that dreams,
the devil,
are illegal.
We got to take down the signs so that black kids won't know.
See, black youth need to be told that they can achieve and that God bless those who hold on to their dreams. They need to be told that they can achieve.
We got to take down the signs so that black kids won't know
that the devil's trying to make dreams illegal in the ghetto.
How many tears? How many tears must a black woman shed?
How many tears must a
black woman shed? She says, instead of being a battered wife for the rest of my life, that I'd rather be dead. She says, forgive me, Lord, I know not why I do this. As she takes the razor and slits her wrist. As she falls into the bloody bathroom floor, she's assured she won't have to worry about her past anymore. But what of your future? It's even worse where you're heading. Because, my sister, a suicide can't get you into heaven. But how many tears must a black woman shed?
How many tears must a black woman shed?
How many tears? Because tears don't stop just because you're dead. How many tears? How many tears must be shed? How many tears must we shed? Each time we hear another young black kid is dead. I wish we shed many because we're losing plenty. But we've become so numb,
we can't even feel what's real,
that we don't shed any. All we do is shake our heads and go, That's a shame. When we read in the paper that another kid has been killed for a coat or a chain. But the whole world sobs when little white Polly gets abducted from her crib. But when black kids die, only their family shed tears. And the whole world sobs.
The whole world
sobs with a Susan Smith. Or when little white Jessica's $50,000 aircraft goes down.
It's an American tragedy.
But nobody says shit when over a pair of $100 sneakers a black youth is lying dead on the ground. And day by day around my way it only seems to get worse. As a school-aged girl gets killed for her purse.
Give me that damn Coach bag.
How many tears will it take to flood my community? How many tears to replace the hate with brotherhood and unity? How many tears? How many tears must streak down a black mother's cheek? When her husband says I'm leaving, her teen daughter says I'm pregnant, and her son is lying dead in the street. How many tears? How many tears? How many tears? Thank you. Religion. We're not trying to step on no religious toes.
Race, religion, politics.
Race, religion, and politics and all that bullshit too, right?
Whatever. You know,
True.
This poem is called "What If When You Get to Heaven." You know, and it's just everybody plays so much, in religion.
Picture of heaven,
you know, indeed, heaven is right here on earth.
You know
for those who don't know, heaven is working with youth, you know, especially inner city youth,
heaven,
you know what I'm saying? Helping them to achieve their dreams, you know, because the devil's trying to make that shit illegal, you know, so you got to help them achieve their dreams. Ask them when you go home, your little brother, little sister, ask them what they want to be when they grow up, you know, help them to achieve them dreams, you know, that's heaven. Seeing them strive, you know, go from a straight F student, you know, with the ADD, I'm LD and all this, take them labels off of them kids, you know, that's heaven, you know, heaven, kid.
True, heaven. What if when you get to heaven? What if when you get to heaven, twin poets?
Heaven's been open for so many years. What if heaven is full when you get there? What if those gold roads are full of potholes and in some places it's warm bare? What if when you get to heaven you see Minister Farrakhan and them damn Muslims out front, wearing their kufis and their bow ties, selling their final calls and their bean pies? What if when you get to heaven you see the billions and billions of babies that's been aborted, and God takes your hand and says, come on with me. I want you to meet your daughter. What if when you get to heaven there's a long-ass list of all the bad shit you done did since you was a kid? What if when you get to heaven, standing at the gate is Reverend Ike, and he says, I'm sorry, my brother, but you don't belong here, but give me 10 eyes and I'll let you spend the night. What if when you get to heaven you see Memphis-style Mac Daddies driving around in 1977 Fleetwood caddies? What if when you get to heaven those pearly white gates are just mere fence and wire? What if heaven is just a housing project that gets higher and higher and higher? Dang. What if when you get to heaven you see a brother who you know was filled with sin? Would you properly greet him saying, welcome home, my brother? I mean, how the hell you getting it? What if when you get to heaven, you found out that your neighborhood was unable to get cable and you were hungry as hell and they just finished clearing the dishes from the Last Supper off the table? What if when you get to heaven you was 2 months late on your rent? Would you try to slide through the side door, hide in front of the landlord? What if when you got to heaven you had a hypocrite for a neighbor who was always stealing your paper and asking you to do ungodly favors? What if when you get to heaven, Dr. King is living his dream and Langston Hughes' dream is no longer deferred? What if when you get to heaven, your neighbor's always having barbecues and yard sales on his front lawn and howling over the fence, hey, yo, neighbor, hey, yo, neighbor, I got them ribs on. I got those ribs on. What if when you get to heaven, you get to look into the eyes of all of our ancestors who died during the Middle Passage? What if when you get to heaven, you see little Emmett Till walking hand in hand with a beautiful little black girl? Now that's heaven. What if when you get to heaven, it's broken down by denomination and your shit is way in the back on Master's Plantation? What if when you get to heaven, God said, Moses, hit him with that rod for all them times they questioned God? What if when you get to heaven, you have no recollection of pain? So you sit around all day trying to remember the words to the Temptation song, hey, I wish it would rain and shit. How that shit go? Sunshine and blue skies and please go away. My girl has found another and going away. Now, with my future, dang, my life is filled with gloom. So day after day I stay locked up in my room. I know to you this shit might sound strange, but damn, how that shit go? I just wish it would rain. What if you got to heaven by what you did yesterday? How many of you would know that hell is indeed on its way? Heaven, what if? Thank you. Peace.
The twin poets, all the way from Delaware. We're going to have one more monitor poet, and then we're going to break for some refreshments. I'd like to introduce you to Brother Mukam from Greater for Maximum Penitentiary on the monitor.
Aneurysm and her demise. I lost my best friend and my greatest support. And the only thing greater than my sorrow is my love for her. The other thing I can tell anyone is that here in the state of Pennsylvania, due to the influence and the power and the authority that the governor wields over the Board of Corrections and the prison administration. They know that lifers can no longer go to bedside visits at hospitals or attend the funerals of their loved ones. The present governor of the state of Pennsylvania feels that this humane act should not be extended to state prisoners, especially those with life sentences. I don't know if this has been with the consent of the citizens of the state of Pennsylvania, but if this is something that is legislated or an action taken on just the mere whim of an individual who has the authority to do so. But this is what happened in my particular case. Now, despite the efforts of two lawyers and the willingness to pay all the expenses, I was denied the right to attend the funeral services of my wife. Again, I'd say that the only thing greater than my pain and my sorrow is the love that I had for God and Savior. Strong who will not yield. Through the great steel gates in an open field, down a narrow, crooked road at the greater Fifth Jail, the yellow brick house awaits. He was just a common man of medium height and weight, with cold, heavy irons embraced each narrow leg, and a long dangling chain looped around the handcuffs that were locked to the belt that wrapped around his waist. The open field was cold and blank as the midnight heat. His body trembled as the autumn wind blew a chilled air across his face, and he stumbled and fell in the dust and dew when the guards pushed him through the gate. Like hungry wolves, they growled and pounced on his fallen flesh and beat him about his face and head till he neared the point of death. They beat him in the face and chest and laughed when he crawled to his feet, then jerked the chain till he fell again, a bloody pulp in a heap. They cussed and taunted, punched and kicked, till he swooned like a man in a souse. Then dragged his body across the stony field to the door of the yellow brick house. They dragged his body across the stony field to the door of the yellow brick house. In the hole at the greater Fifth Jail, we men were 120 deep. And at midnight we heard that horrible sound that roused us from our sleep. Again, that horrifying shrill that raised our hairs on end. Be still, you scum, the night guard said. You've only heard the wind. It's not the wind that breathes a chilling blow upon a man's soul, or fills his veins with fluid cold, till frigid heart and marrow and bone are frozen hard, like lead, like stone. It was not the wind that whisked him in and slammed the green steel door and left him alone in the dark and dim, bleeding, naked, stomach retching upon the cold concrete floor where he laid his head beside the putrid mass. And beside the putrid mass he lay, oblivious to time and space. But only a moment had come to pass, when the guards rushed in and struck again, and threw cold water on his face. And it was not the wind that slashed and lashed his bloody back, filling the road with eerie screams of pain, as though he were a madman in a rage. Like frightened birds in a cage, we men stood 120 deep and listened to that unending pain that had robbed us of our sleep. How much of stress and strain and pain does mind and body take before the wires finally snap, or they brittle hard and break? It's not the wind that breathed and howled that terrible unending thrill that locked the heart of every man on the road, then became unendingly still. Nor was it the wind that breathed the drip that swung his body in a pendulum sway, toes tapping at the green steel door, eyes staring at the morning ray, toes tapping at the green steel door, eyes staring at the morning ray.
The Pope is a pedophile. He's the man from Poland, and he's paid his dues. All men are his equal. He doesn't pick and choose. But he doesn't like niggers, and he doesn't like Jews. Doesn't like the Buddhists or the bearded gurus. Doesn't like the fellas when they're standing in twos, spreading that virus from the 6 o'clock news. Worldly things he's sworn to refuse. Power and wealth he condemns in his shoes, arms emblazoned with sacred tattoos, a humble pilgrim with nothing to lose, with more fucking money than a Howard Hughes. He's the vicar of Christ and he's bringing his ruse. He's the vicar of Christ and he's singing the blues. He likes young girls when they shimmy and cruise, bustiers and little see-throughs, fishnet stockings and high-heeled shoes. He's the vicar of Christ and he's singing the blues. He likes young boys at a certain stage. They look like little toys at a certain age. Right for little ploys and a gilded cage. Right for little joys and little sautés. With a little bit of mustard and a little mayonnaise. A smorgasbord for a pedophile sage. He's the vicar of Christ and he's bringing his ruse. He's the vicar of Christ and he's singing the blues. He likes a fickle flock he can hypnotize to sell his holy crock in that shepherd's disguise. He likes a lot of stock and to mass monopolize like Peter and his rock, saltpeter in your cock. He likes a soul in hock to his global enterprise. He likes a little yam with his sweet potato pies. He likes a little ham with his chicken wings and thighs. Just like the son of Sam, the war in Vietnam. He's laying down a sham for that little leg of lamb to rape and sodomize. To rape and sodomize. He's the vicar of Christ, and he's bringing his ruse. He's the vicar of Christ, and he's singing the blues. He doesn't like the ladies when they want their equal share. He likes them even less when they want to make a pair. Doesn't like to hear their voices when they're coming up for air from the bottom of the barrel where he says that all is fair. Reproductive freedom, he really doesn't care. Fuck Sinead O'Connor and her total lack of hair. Stick her in a rocker, dick her with a prayer. Hang her in your locker, mock her if you dare. Denigrate and dock her, cock her with a flare. Knock her up in soccer, just like Betty Crocker. Show 'em that you care. Show 'em you're the kicker with the liquor like a lair. Show 'em you're the dicker with a snicker for a snare. Show 'em you're the pricker with a bicker like a bear. Show 'em you're the vicar in dirty underwear. He likes them when they're showing a little bit of tit. He likes them when they're throwing a sexy little fit. He likes them when they're sewing a sexy little knit. He likes them when they're hoeing and chomping at the bit. He likes them when they're glowing. He likes them when they're lit. He likes them when they're blowing on his little conduit. And he likes them when they're, he likes them when they're crowing. He likes them when they're flowing. He likes some when they're rowing in his reservoir of shit. And he likes them when they're knowing that he's no hypocrite. He's the vicar of Christ, and he's bringing his ruse. He's the vicar of Christ, and he's singing the blues. Thank you very much. Trapeta Mason. I'd like to bring back up Ursula Rucker. Big hand for Ursula Rucker, please.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Trapeta. This is my religious portion. It's The Pope is a Pedophile Part 2. No, I'm just kidding. It's not as graphic as Kevin's, but it's all good. This piece is called Sacrament. It has to do with something that I've grappled with from being highly medicated with Catholicism. No, I'm Catholic. And you know how you just, I don't know, if you're Catholic, you know about Catholic guilt. And like I've always sat down and had to think about how sex and spirituality are so closely tied, and also dealing with the Catholic guilt. So this is what this has to do with. It's called Sacrament. Come soak your cares in my pool of forget until they drip with smiles. Supplement your daily dose of faith in God with nightly shots of sacred sins and sweet submersion, prayerfully administered. You drink from my font baptismal elixir, aka soul body fixer, as I wrap around you like a coiled snake unraveling, shedding hurt like skin within my skins as we purify sin, as we glorify sins like tantra, like whole we, like sacrament. Much like hymns our worship houses sing, unadorned and new, we reinvent rebirth. Balance blasphemy and rapture skillful on tongues that summon deities, speak mortal names divine. We no longer draw lines between pleasure and praise. We raise voices and self in sacrament. And I wanted to say to speak mortal names divine is like, oh God, you know what I'm talking about. And like, you know, when you pray and then you fuck that night with your partner, you're laying in bed and y'all say prayers together and then you fuck, you know what I mean? And you're not married. This is another little, it's untitled, but it's one of my favorite poems. Now excommunicated from his church, I sneak into early morning and late night service, taking my seat in the last pew, making offerings, not always money. He sees me, he feigns nearsightedness. I belt out my gospel, which to him has become forbidden song, and only small children listen now, with not much understanding, but more innocent appreciation. They say my voice is pretty, the voice he doesn't hear. His memory of call and response was lost sometime during the middle of his passage to his newly founded church, from which I have been excommunicated, but still attend service daily. I even give offerings, not always money. Thank you.
It's a short poem in Spanish, you know. Oh, you want to translate it? No, I'll tell you what, my name is Robert Montanez, and I'll tell you more or less what it is, so you don't think that I'm saying something that it's not, you know what I mean? It has to do, this is about liberty, about freedom. This is about freedom, right? And, you know, after spending 13 years in jail, you know what I mean, without seeing a sunset, without being able to see a dawn come down, you know what I mean? Freedom gets kind of, it gets away from you in a lot of ways, you know, but in your mind, you still got that concept, you know, like that clear, perfect thing that I guess gives a little bit of hope to a lot of us, you know. And a lot of what I say here is about stars, which I haven't seen, like I said, in 13 years. It's being able to sleep on the outside, you know, without being in 6 feet of concrete around you, you know what I mean? And be laying down on the beach with the sun just beating down on you, you know. You could do that here, you know, but there's always somebody that's always watching, you know, keeping an eye on you, make sure that you're not going nowhere. So this is what it is. So don't take it like it's anything else that I'm trying to say, you know. Okay. Libertad de palabras, that's the name of, libertad de palabras, that's the name of the poem. Libertad, tu sonido en melodía, glorioso momento que espero encontrar, y sueños contigo de noches y días. Decirte libertad querida y abrazar la esencia de mi vida, cantar al momento y vivir el minuto en un pensamiento que me puedas dar. De noche estrellada, sin techo cerrado, de soles bañados, sin mirar al lado, paseo que sin fin hasta vida eterna me otorguen en ti. Pero es mi temor, mi más grande miedo, de que pronto mi tiempo se terminará y no estaré a tu lado, sino siempre encerrado en mi soledad. Thank you very much.
That will be the last video segment. I want to bring back the twin poets for the for their last segment of the night. Big hand for the twins. How's everybody holding up, okay?
Yes. Little L said, I'm coming this time. Come on, buddy, sit right there. Yes. L. Elijah, and I want to thank my son for being good in front of everybody, being nice. This last piece we want to do, you know, to us, it's a history lesson about Black history. And what it does, it just encompasses so much, because a lot of people just hear the first line and they think, dang. But what it does, in a sense, is called I want a few for aggression. In order to get anything, you have to be aggressive. And what we want is our true liberation, our freedom. So what we use is the horrors of Black history. We put it to you right in front of your face. Our horrors of our history, and we use this as our fuel for aggression. So the title is I want a fuel for aggression. This is our fuel to be aggressive, to get what we don't have. And what we do is we take our history and we reverse it. We make the oppressors the oppressed. And it's clear and it's all visual. And this poem is not about white people. It's about Black people, about our history. And if we use our horror of our histories, and if we learn from our histories, then we will be clear, and we'll be searching, we'll actually be using this as fuel for aggression. So the title again is I Want a Fuel for Aggression. I want to go to the oldest white man alive and call him a boy. Boy. To let him know that in my eyes he will never grow up. I want to feed him chitlins and watermelon rinds until he throws up. I want to be amused by abusing you, and I want to use my full imaginative skills. I want to bang nails into a barrel, put you in it and roll your ass down the hill. I want to make the riches while the white man digs the ditches, and his wife cleans my clothes, washes my dishes, and fulfills my sexual wishes. I want the Black man and Black woman to be the master and missus, leaving the white people to be the niggas and bitches. I want to make you laugh at all my jokes, white man. My jokes about you. I want to hear you say, ha, ha, ha. Master, you sure is funny. I want to show you the true power of money. I want to replace the face of your forefathers and put my own heroes on my bills. I want to bill for Ida B., Harriet Tubman, Booker T, W.B., the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, King X, and Garvey. I want to show you what economic clout is all about. I want to take you all to the mall and just auction you off. I want to rewrite history with my own pen. I want to go to the pen and release all the Black men. I want to empty the jails. I want to tip the scales. I want to make it white males who try just to fail. I want to make your women and children defenseless by making you, white man, do time. Then I want to create diseases for chemical and biological warfare, then make sure that they get their shots on time. I want to make white women believe that the only good white men are those who are either playing sports or paying child support. I want to make them give me the job of educating their youth and just to assume that I'll teach them the truth. I want to make their children able to recite rhymes, but not times tables. I want to make them a people who don't know their own past. I want them to walk right past their fathers because they don't know their own dads. I want to make white exploitation films. I want to gear my malt liquor ass toward their kids and only sell it in the areas where they live. I want to make them feel that the world hates them. I want their only release to lie and getting high. I want them to dive inside of this 40-ounce bottle of liquid escape, which is nothing really but an updated fugitive slave law for those who thought they were emancipated. I want to make them dwell in a living hell. I want their young daughters to become pregnant at the age of 12. Only to become dependent on welfare because the baby's father isn't there and doesn't care. And whenever people see your young sons, I want them to automatically think the worst. I want them to be followed through stores by security guards, and as they pass, an old lady quickly grabs for her purse.
I want your kids to live in the streets. I want them to be unable to define the word peace. I want this one's son to kill that one's son because this one stepped on that one's sneaks. I want to make a white mother feel the same pain as the mother of Emmett Till. I want to violate your mother, your wife, and your daughter and let my sexual urges run rampant. I want to go to every historical black college and university and kick all of y'all off the campus. I want your children to drop out of college early with no degree so they can come and play ball for me. I want your leadership to be limited because of ego trips. I want all the things that you do to be regulated by catch-22. I want to strip you of everything, your religion, your culture, your language, your names, your history, even your dreams, and then tell you that you are inferior due to your genes. I want to make you hate yourself. I want to make you hate yourself. I want to make you hate yourself. I want to make you so confused that you'll refuse to even tie your own damn shoes without my help. I want to make you a people who are mentally dead, walking around like zombies, believing whatever is said and talking off the top of your heads. I want your culture to be whatever is on TV. I want you to die trying to be like me. I want to see you standing in line for hours on end trying to buy some melanin. I want to see you lying on the beach from sun up to sundown to sun up, trying to be brown, trying to be down. I want the sun to just burn the masses till they are nothing but ashes. I want to go to Philly on May 13th and drop the bomb on Frank Grizzo and Wilson Good's sons and daughters and tell the whole world that I've just destroyed the enemy's headquarters. I want their quest for a peaceful existence to be agitated. I want their women to be overworked and unappreciated. I want your children purposely miseducated. I want your leaders to be assassinated. I want to fill Bill Clinton with 144,000 pieces of lead. I want to be the body, and I want Minister Farrakhan to be the head. I want my brother Mumia Abu-Jamal to be the president of NPR. I want a new Congress, a new House, and a new Senate with nothing but black people in it. I want them to adopt new black legislation so we can put the black nation back into activation. I want a group of brothers to sit around and devise a plan on how we're going to carve up Europe. I want to give the red man back some of his land. I want to put those damn Caucasians on reservations. I want to bring back public lynching so that Billie Holiday's spirit within me will be able to see a true, strange fruit hanging from the tree. I want to see the Pope on the road. I want his robe to be covered with blood. I want to turn the Vatican into a nightclub. I want to worship the one true God, not the blonde hair and blue-eyed. Every night I want to make them fall to their knees and say, God, please, God, please, God, please, take me out of this cruel black world. I want to make them live like crabs in a burrow. I want to make them awaken with moistened eyes because they have been crying all night just trying to figure out why. I want to tie their tongues so that they have no voice. I want to make them accept poverty as if they have no choice. I want to make them live in between graffiti walls. I want to make them live with the feeling just knowing that they receive no justice under our laws. I want to make the enemy of black America their white sons. I want to saturate the suburbs with drugs and guns. I want their worst nightmares to become their reality. I want them to be fatal victims of police brutality. I want to revise the King Alfred plan so we'll know what to do with them if they ever get out of hand. I want the FOI to patrol the streets so we can keep the weak separate from the elite. I want to make you a POW on my nation. I want to make you recite your history with my interpretation. I want to make you pay me my reparations. I want to use my fist to show you how to respect me. I want to have a Million Man March every damn Monday so I can show you how to count correctly. I want to wage war, genocide to no end. I want you dying, still trying to be my friend. I want it, brothers and sisters, so that we may learn the way. I want August 21st to be Nat Turner Day. I want to, Twin Poets, thank you. Thank you. We, the Twin Poets, would like to thank Kevin O'Neill and the college for having this event, and definitely for inviting the poets, the Twin Poets. And
all the poets who performed were lovely, and thank you again. Peace. Have a good evening.
Let me thank the twin poets for coming up all the way up from Delaware to share their art with us. Big hand for the twins. Now let me introduce you to my good friend, Muhammad Hanafi, coming from Greater Penitentiary on the monitor. He's going to close out the video segment for us.
That was the last poet for the day. This is 1997, greatest for maximum security concentration camp. Smoke if you got it. And we'd like to thank Mr. Kevin O'Neill, the Praying Bride, and all the other poets out there who keep this wonderful art alive. No, you cannot. Yes, sir. I am not a role model. Yes, I am. Because if you can master poetry like me, you will definitely be on MTV. So I'm closed out. It's like 1, 2, 3, Word. I'm closed out with this, you know. I'm going to say this. Look what I want to say. I come from the land of the Liberty Bell. Did they ring the alarm when the slave ship sailed across the waters of my African borders and brought me to this land of misery and slaughter? Truthfully, I don't think so. 50 founding fathers helped finance the cargo, like that wig-wearing punk named George Washington and them other Anglo-Saxons that wrote the Constitution, scheming and scamming like diabolical demons, claiming I was 3/5 of a human being, so they could justify their savage brutality and maintain the institution called chattel slavery, buying and selling my people like cattle, all the way up into the Civil War battle. Then along came emancipation, proclamation for my Nubian nation, and man oh man did we celebrate. 1865 was the date. America, the land of the free. Damn, what y'all forgot about me? Brought me here for 400 years, a slave in a grave of bloodshed and tears. And all I received was grief and hardship. And if I spoke out, my back you would whip. You wouldn't even let me keep my name. And you wonder why now I act insane? But if I did to you what you did to me, you'd be calling yourself a menace to society. We got to go. The next we love y'all. Stay the fuck out of jail. Straight up. I mean that. Stay out of here, man. Because this is hell. You think the ghetto is hell. You think poverty is hell. You ain't seen jail. This is worse than hell. They don't have a name for this. Hey!
That was Muhammad closing out the Greater for segment. I hope you got that on tape, because if I go back to the prison without it, I'm in trouble. I would like to close out tonight with a poem that I wrote in collaboration with all the men that you've just seen in the poetry project at Greater for Penitentiary. I got to do something with this mic. And it was written in collaboration. It was addressed to at-risk youth for a project that we put together to bring to high school students in Philadelphia. It's about going to prison. I'd like to dedicate it to Brother Mukam, who was the senior member of the poetry project and the workshop, and who is serving a life sentence, who has been down for 25 years and just lost his wife and was denied by the state of Pennsylvania the right to go to her bedside and to her funeral. I'd like to dedicate this to Brother Mukam. The title of the work is Red Clay Country. Welcome to the well-oiled Orwellian cell block hell, of red clay country. You have been repossessed by the state, and your fate is now in the hands of the hunter. A pale pack of hack alien body snatchers from the cracker factory. Don't ever slumber. You can change your first slave name, but your second is a number. You are now the guest of the Grandmaster host of America's most unwanted, dead or alive. You have been emancipated again into the obscene penal code commode stratus of the least favorite nation within a nation within a nation status. The 50666 satanic annex of the Iceman. 1601 Penitentiary Avenue, P.O.00 Box 7, Bondage, James Bondage. You have entered the alimentary epicenter of the body politic, a.k.a. the absolute depravity of the abdominal cavity of the beast. An airtight twilight cyber zone of cloned Y chromosomes, where the devil and Davy Jones are in lockdown with Lord of the Flies on C-Block Sodom, where slow torture and the fortune in men's eyes lies so far below sea level, whale shit, the pit and the pendulum, unfit for human habitation, and ground zero converge on the cellar floor of Gomorrah, where coach boats and boats tick the cold click of the clock, tick-tock, multiply by pi, magnify by 200 years of justice, deny, divide by 360 degrees of smoke. If you got 'em, it's called rock bottom. Smoke. If you got 'em, it's called rock bottom. Rock and roll, they built this city on Plymouth Rock auction blocks and the murder of Rolling Thunder. A lockdown, naughty megalopolis of human crops of cotton rotting on the vine of equal protection, huddled, half-mast, cast the first stone fast, 'cause it's gonna be your last. It's back to the future, and your future is your past. It's back to the future, and your future is your past. The more things change, the more they stay the same. The warden's pleased to meet you. Hope you guess his name. Now meet Pandora, Pluto, Pandemonium, and the Prince of Darkness. Hatred, fear, and the Khmer Rouge, your constant companions through these catwalk canyons of 12x9 final solutions, where torment, cement, and steel, and the real 8th Amendment ferment and fester in the belly of the least of your brethren. Pilloried in Hillary's village of the damned, where the only law on earth not broken is the call of the wild man-child in the promised landfill of smoke. If you got 'em, it's called rock bottom. Here, the midwife of life and death and the mother of all invention is Father Time, where every cover is blown and every soul on ice has China syndrome. You have been judged by the caller to have answered to what you have been called. You have crawled from a ball and chain breakable into the shadow of the highest wall of all, breachable only by the reach of the hawk and dead men walking. Here, year after year, you will be counted 4 times a day, but will amount to nothing. Survival of the unfittest is the myth of surviving which you arrive with. Son, your trial isn't over. It's just begun. Now bend them and spread. Like I said, you're in red clay country. Bend them and spread. Like I said, you're in red clay country. Thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank all the poets. I want to thank Moore College for having us. Smoke if you got 'em.